Well, hello, this is Gmodism, Total Nerdy Channel, and we are here for an ACF car tutorial. It has been a while since I made the last tutorial of ACF cars, that is, well, basically how to make an ACF car with pop-up guns thing, which is a bit outdated maybe, so I will make a little updated version. This will feature some other things like suspension, general better car in that way, and I also plan to make it a bit more compact than the last one. So to save some time, I spawned a plate here. Oh, I should go through. ACF is a cool mod with engines and guns and stuff, and well, here we will basically use the engines. So if you don't know what ACF is, which you probably know if you're looking at this video, but if you don't, check it out, it's awesome. If you don't know how to install ACF, I got a cool tutorial on how to install ACF also. Then we will be using Wiremod. Wiremod is required for ACF, and most things you should really have Wiremod, so get it by Workshop. Then S-Props is also acquired by Workshop. That's a mod that I recommend too, so well, you don't need S-Props, but it's really useful. So then I will be using this GB radial, another video I have on that one. It's just a fast command to get tools, so it's nothing you need, but it's cool. So I have just aligned these up. The only thing that I have done is that I have right-clicked on this with no collide, and this, and this, and that's just to not make them collide with anything, so that's what you can do. Then what you might want to do is that you want to no collide by left-clicking the wheels to the base plate. Then this you don't really need either, but the precision tool, is well used to put things on exact ways, so you can like place them exactly where you want. Now I have something called Smart Snap. Smart Snap gives you this grid that allows you to use E to snap yourself to different points. It's a really useful mod. Workshop for that one too. So first of all, let's connect up these wheels. I have chosen to use Model C size 40. And now you can see that it almost places it in the middle of this one. That's because I have snap distance minus 180. That's an approximate value for the props I have used, so you just need to approximate a good value. So I think that the third place will be good. The rotation doesn't matter. Like that. And the same thing on this side. Oops. 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 Sorry. One thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Ignore that. We need to do one thing first. First, you see, the settings are 0, 0, 0. That's good. And no, just use it like this. Then you need to right-click on this big, and then right-click there. Right-click on this big, and then right-click here. Then we will have a good, nice axis to make them, well, basically not move away. So we can check like this. It's a hinge, basically. Now I just need to align this straight again by some several steps. Oh well. Some other thing is that we will connect these two to each other. That you can do by placing a rope between these two, and it needs to be rigid like this. Whoops, no. Like this, and yes, you can do it a bit more exact, that's better. And now they will be basically connected. But you can also connect them by using what it's called, the advanced ball socket tool. if you want to be a slightly more fancy. So that's what we're going to do. Well, for the ball socket advanced, you need to have the settings set at minimum 180, maximum -180. You can see these are reversed settings. Minimum is like the maximum and the maximum is the minimum. No friction and free movement must be checked. Now, click on this, click on this. Now they should be slaved. Like that. So that's good. That or a rope between them. Both works. This is a bit more sophisticated and it's so easy if you already have the advanced ball socket. Now, what we did before, but basically again, precision, move. This is semi-optional. You can just move it by hand. This is just to get the extra edge that precision will give you. And you can be several more precise than I am now with more mods. But well, now to create an axis in the middle, you right click here and here, and then you will get an axis in the middle of the wheel. If you however want to create an axis in the mass center of the wheel, then you need to have axis center, Vanille's axis center tool. It works the other way around, like you first place on the wheel and then you place on the rod like this. This is actually a better type of axis, so we will be using this. You don't need to. It's a simple and nice tool to use, however. Now we have these little wheels here. We can line them up already. We can see that we want to have them a bit indrawn into that one. So we will use precision again, just to move it, nothing else. And you can see now -180 is too much. If we put it on 0, then we can see that we need to draw it in a little bit. So if I think that maybe -10, how will that be? You need to try your way, like I did for the other ones. You basically just have to try a different solutions and it will work out fine. Like that. That looks good enough. Okay. Oh well. Now we will do the same thing, axis center or the regular axis tool. But if you use the regular axis tool, you need to start right-clicking on this one and then on that one. So we will just unfreeze those to pull it up to the same level like the other wheels. I think that's good. Then we will make the suspension, because these are good, yeah. To make suspension, we will use a... what is it called? We will use a rope suspension type. Oh, just run it. It's the thickness of the rope, it doesn't matter. You use a black rope, it's a bit subtle. No force limit, because then it will break. Add length, nope, and rigid. Then, what you will do now is that you will create this little pattern. Like, whoops, here to there. It doesn't need to be super exact, it's just good if it is. Like that. Aha, excellent. And on that side. Then you will replicate it all, but basically around here, about the same distance. It's not super important that it gets super exact, but because it will say it will basically do the same thing. And then you can see by this pedagogical lines, oh yes, how your ropes are drawn. Ah, excellent. So This ground is special. We need to fix the weights and some stuff, however. So we will go to weights tool, where now that is weights tool. Now 150 should be a good weight on all the wheels. They are currently 100, well that maybe works too. Base plate 300 might be a good weight. The suspension maybe 170 is good. That might be enough. And those ones need to be quite heavy also. Actually, we will have these on 100. The wheels and those on 100. Let's see. I think this map is a bit... If we put it on an even ground, this is very weird. Oh, I found out the problem. I should have checked that before. It's just the map that's a bit weird. That makes us not be able to put down the vehicle directly on the ground and get sensible results. So we'll spawn this little building platform. Whoops. So we can have our little floppy car here. Now you can see that everything is flopping around. And it of course should not be, whoops, flopping around. Oh, let me just take something less. It's screaming in my eyes a bit, if you know what I mean. Okay, seriously, the lag of the material page in Garry's mod. Stop killing me. Now, where is it? Ah, here we are. No. Nice rust. So, now we can test our car. You see everything is flopping around a bit, and that is because we have made too few little ropes here. We need actually a few more ropes to steady it up a bit. So what we'll do is we will have the corners up here. We will connect to that one. And this is really fun making a suspension, because you can trickle around a bit and you will get very different results depending on very small differences that you make. So let's see how this turns out. Now you can see it's a pretty rigid. It's a pretty rigid one. Now, and we can see it can be inverted if we hit it too hard. So that's why we are going to make a little defense thing. I believe that we will make a... I want to make another. Like here to there and there to there. That's good. I think this will be nice suspension. It will be quite hard suspension, but to fix that, or to change that, you will need to change the weight of this little rod here. So say if we put it at 70, whoa, Control A, 70, enter, like that. Come on, down. Seriously. Thank you. Like that. So, now anyways, we will start connecting up the steering. That we will do via hydraulics. And to be able to put out the hydraulics, these need to be, well, very straight. So use your Shift E to straighten those up. Then we will take the wire tool and we will spawn hydraulics. Let's make a very thin, or very thin, whatever. This will be good. up in the corner here and to the about the middle, like there. Then we'll place it there so we know what it's for. Make the same thing again, like that, and place the controller down. Now you can see these lengths are very similar, and that's as it should be, because we'll connect them up to the same circuit. Oh, I think we have a pretty steady base. Now we will do some fun wiring. So hang on. If you're new to Wiremod, it might sound complex, but it's really not complex. It's actually super easy when you get into it. It's nothing to worry about. So we will have our little computer. Where will we have it? We will have a little computer board here around, or maybe around here. It doesn't matter really. Just place down some circuits. One thing we will need a multiply gate. Here is the multiply gate. Then we will also need lots of fun gates. We should have a negate gate. Let's hear. Let me think. Yes, exactly. We should have 2 negate gates. Like, oops, not that small. Ooh. Have them different sizes so we understand what they are for. This is the throttle multiply gate. These are our 2 negate gates for the steering. We will have add gates, I believe. We will have 2 add gates for the steering. We place them above here for a little bit more pedagogic. And we will also have some multiply gates. Yes, multiply gates for the steering, that is. Here, there, and there. Now we will have a master num value. And now something that I usually do to make it a bit more nice, that's changing the materials to some color that are nicer to the eyes to look on. And I think rust are nice, so let's just change them for building purposes. Now we need a numpad value, or constant value, I mean. It's not a numpad value, it's a constant value. You can see I have my favorites here in a big list, and they are many things. You can just search here, like and here we have it. Constant value. Like if we draw out the name here. So we'll have some different values. Let's see here, 4 values maybe. One value is 100, that we'll need. Value 1 is always practical to have. Then we'll have value 46. Let's check the length. Whoops. On those ones, 46 point. Oh, we should unfreeze it all. Okay, 46.65, 45 point. Why are they different? It shouldn't be different, or it's a slight different. So we compromise, and we will use value 46 straight on, and it will be okay. It will be okay. Oh, constant value. Then we will have one more value. We'll have 5 values, because we will have a negative 20 and a positive 20. Or no, we are making this the other way around, so we will only need a 20. Like that. Spawn our numpad value on this circuit here. Now get to our wiring tool. We will now have the add gates here. We will connect up A to 46. So they will always be at least 46. Then we can right away connect up these length to 46. Length to 46. Now this will try to be about 46. So that's practical. And well, to our wire tool again. To be able to change these values, we need to plus on a bit of different things. So that will be the multiply gates. And also the... Whoa! No, I connected up to the negate gates, I'm sorry. The multiply gates, like that. Now, when we multiply A by... Oops. We need to spawn the advanced pod controller right away, or the pod controller it's called. So here we have a pod controller. That's also a piece that we should be spawning right away. That we will be spawning, connecting to a seat. Therefore choose a share, a seat you want to drive in. Right click the pod controller, right click the share, and you got it already connected up. That is because we need to connect the multiply gate to parts in this one. So A we connect to A here we connect to D. Then we will connect both of those to 20, like the B's to 20. Then when we use different keys, we will basically be changing the length, but this will be a non-dual steering, so it will be very weak in the current moment. So what we'll need to do is connect up the negate gates of this one. Like, okay, this negates this, and this negates this. It's the negative value of this one, basically. So that's why we will not connect these directly down, because these are kind of reversed. If you get, it's hard to explain, but basically cross-connect the negate gates and we will have a negative value of the value that this outputs. We could also have, well, basically negative gates and have double of them also. That also works. But this is different ways of doing the same thing. So now these are strong. And well, you never know what basically will be connected to what. So I will reverse this to get the proper steering. So be careful to use, well, connect around the right thing. So now the steering is all correct. I hope that didn't feel difficult, because it is really not very difficult. If I will explain this mathematically, the length is connected to this add gate. Those add gates master over the gates it's connected to. They're like, well, all those gates put in all their stuff and they get that value. These always have the value of 46, and then you can modify that value by basically plussing on -20 or +20. Wait, I will have a remote controller. So, like that. Now we're connected. Now we are turning to the left. That means this pluses on 20 and this draws off 20. This is by the negate gate. You can see that's +20 and that's -20. And when I do the same thing, those changes. And this that gets plus 20 is connected to one of these, and this that gets negative is connected to the other. And that's basically that in reverse. So it's a really simple steering. But, well, now when we have that cleared up, we can now start adding the engine. Finally. So, ACF. Oops. Here we have your ACF menu. Here we have ammo, guns, mobility. Mobility is what we will really focus on today. Now, select the gearbox. There are different kinds of gearboxes. Now, miscellaneous? Well, regenerative steering, that's for building tanks and so on, so that will not be needed really. Clutch? Well, it's a clutch, basically, but all the gearboxes have a clutch feature in them. CVT is to change values like CVT2. Constant. Oh. I'm not sure what CVT2 is actually. CVT, regular anyways, you change a value between 0 and 1, and then it will be creating different types of output. So, I'm kind of curious on this CVT2, I'm sorry. But usually, everybody basically uses 4-speed. And we do have an automatic gearbox too. Upshift speed. That's kind of cool also. Automatics can be practical, but then you need to connect some stuff up. It's kind of automatic is simpler to drive with, but no, I feel we will be using 4-speed like regular gearbox. It's like when you start driving a car, you should always begin with learn how to use a regular gearbox. So we will do that, it's better. Now we will do a connection that most people don't show you. They basically just put down one gearbox, and that's cool, but we actually want to be able to change gearbox if we want to. Now I believe that we want to have a small gearbox. That will be enough. And you can see that 540 nanometers is the torque rating. And if we look at engines, we can see that well, V-twin we have, it's not very much like that engine. So if we have a B6 5 liters, we still got under 200 nanometer in power, so it will work. If we will however use this, you can see we will use a larger gearbox, but I mean, look at this engine, it's not realistic. So small gearbox will work perfectly for a, well, car-sized car. So 4-speed, inline, small. These are the gearboxes. However, the final drive we can change later, but we will actually have our gear 1 to negative, so we begin in backwards. So then we need to basically change those to, it's a better way to set up your gearbox to start with. Yeah. 0.3. Yeah. Now, however, we will be spawning other gearboxes too. Those will only be transfer or differentials, I mean. because transfer are more like transfer case. Like you can change the gears you can change the gear once, but we will only have a differential, and we will have a differential medium like this. Now what you can do is you either revert the final drive to negative or you pull one of them upside down and the other one the other way around, then it will be the same thing. But oh, I'm sorry, why am I talking about medium? We choose small for this one. Like that. Now they will be good and reversed. We will do four-wheel drive right away, because that's the best thing. But if you don't want to have four-wheel drive, if you want to build a car that's maybe a special car that well, don't have, like when I built my Volvo, I used back-wheel drive because that Volvo didn't have four-wheel drive, it had back-wheel drive. But for technical reasons, well, basically it's actually better to have four-wheel drive. So now let's see here. Like that. You can see that these final drives, if you look at the ACF menu, they weigh very little. So that can be good to know, that they don't really add much weight. It's just, it doesn't matter that you have many of them. It's the lots of gears that take kind of much weight. So we'll have this kind of in the middle, and we will hope we don't like override what to call them. They are called, I'm sorry that I'm slow speaker. If you have excessive drive shaft angles, they will not really work very good either. So that can be something to keep in mind. This testing board annoys me, so we'll remove it when we're building, just in the air like this. Aha! And we place this around in the middle, like that. And then we will be ready to connect the engine to this input here, because these are the two outputs here. So now, get your welding tool. Then we will weld, like no force limit, this one to this, well, dampening, this one just to the base, this one just to the base, just one weld, and it will work perfectly fine. Now, right click on this one, right click on that one, right click on this one, right click on that. Do the same to connect up the wheels, and now we will see if the drive shaft will be too... No! This worked perfectly. This is not too much. I know it. It's not too much. It's okay. Like that. Now what we need to do is that we need to create an engine. That's ACF menu and not gearboxes. And here you can see we have recently had lots of new engines. So I mean seriously. It's the single engines! Oh, how cute! They are so cute, the single engines. I like them. And old. I just need to look. Old. Are they different? No. Okay, so we have the V-twin. We have the I2, inline 2. That's basically the different layouts. Here we have the specials. The special engines are better in everything, but they also need fuel. All engines perform a little bit better when they have fuel, but they don't need fuel, except the special need fuel. But the special engines are the best, however. Now we have inline 3, so that's fun. We have lots of different types of engines, and we have, you can see it's insane. The fun thing with building an ACF car, it's super easy to change an engine. But just for the funs, we use a special engine. And I think that a 2-liter inline, like, it's basically a V4, how cute. Okay, so we use a little rally engine for our car. Now, most cars have their engine placed in the front of the car, so we will do that also. And that's why we need all these gearboxes all around, because I like to have my engines in the front of the car, like that. And it feels natural and logical to use this way. Connect it up by right-clicking. Now, weld the engine once to the base plate, like that. And now, oh well. Now, we'll do the last of the wiring. Exactly a wiring tool. And then we select activate on activate pod controller, throttle on this multiply gate. This multiply gate we haven't connected up. Connect A to 100. That is 100% throttle. You can also connect it to 70% and then you will not get full power. How fun! So basically just connect it up to 100. Then what button you want to throttle on? I like to throttle on the W key. So these, ignore those, because we will be connecting up things with these gearbox. We will connect up gear up. I usually have on mouse 1. Gear down, I connect up to mouse 2, naturally. If you want to have weapons on your vehicle, you might want to connect them up to other cars. So, clutch, we will connect up to the space key. That's the braking. Clutch, we will use clutch. We will not make the engine be weird when we brake, and we will make the brakes right away. Like, yes. To make brakes, we're going to wire tool here, and we will find something that's called Weld-latch. Let's see here. Where are you, my dear Weld? Weld/constraint latch. Like that one. Click on the wheel and on the base plate. Then I like to put the brakes kind of near the wheels because funs. Like that. Now we have 2 weld latches. Now they are activated. That means they are basically welded these to these. So they are locked. This is a lock brake. It's kind of insane. Use your wiring tool. Connect activate to the space key. So when we press space, we will, like if we were driving a real car, we would be pressing down the clutch coupling, like connecting out the engine, and then we will connect up, like in the brakes, on the same button. So on space, we will deconnect the engine and connect basically the brakes. You can see if I press space, they're locked. Okay. Alright, I forget things. We need an fuel tank. Because we chose that kind of vehicle. Mobility. Fuel tanks. How logical isn't that? And there is only high-grade fuel in this game. Isn't this nice? Well, I like to have a more dragged out tank. Maybe something, whoops, that looks small, 7 liters. No, not battery. Tank. Tank 222 times maybe 4. I mean, there are so many weird tanks here. Just saying. Okay, that's good. Now right click the engine and right click the fuel tank. Go to no collide. I just no collide this to everything, and I place my fuel tanks where I think the fuel tanks should be, like in the back of the car, so they won't explode when you crash the car, or I don't know. That's why you usually have them in the back anyways, but let's do that us too. Basically welded. I think you can parent these, however. So now we can temporarily weld our seat into our car so we can drive it. Then we will also go to wiring tool, because we'll actually need to activate the tank if you don't want to have it activated all the time. So we just connect it up to activate and the pod controller. And now I think that our car will be working. It's not tested, however. I didn't hear an engine start. Maybe it did. Oh wait. Throttle activate. That's interesting. So if we go to remote control, $100. Oh. Okay, are those connected? Right click, right click. The fuel tank is already linked. Wire activate. They do have lots of liters left. Now we just clear this one, put that to activate, put that to throttle again. Oh, it just was some bug or something, but now it works. Now we see that our wheels are acting really funny. Like that. And oh, it's actually backwards connected, because we start on the first gear. And that's easy to do, to change. Because all we need to do is go into ACF menu, gearboxes, find the 4-speed, small, and here we all had everything set up. The only thing we will do is change this to the negative value of what we have around, like there. Now it will work perfectly. Okay, but you really noticed that our wheels will grab themselves and eat up the ground or stuff, and that's completely natural, because we haven't added a very important thing. We actually need to have make spherical to make a really good car. Almost all have this tool, like builders. Make spherical. Get that. That will make this wheel a physical sphere. And now this, if we let me just demonstrate it for you. If we have let's take a wheel, and this is a normal wheel, you can see. If I pull make spherical on it, it will be a sphere. It will roll anyway. But the thing is that this is calculated mathematically as a circle. This is acted mathematically like a square, or like a octagonal or something, but with very many. So it's say it's 200 sides on this, but it's still 200 sides, and that creates collisions. But if we have spherical, make spherical, then it will calculate this as a sphere using the pi, and that will create much less lag. So that's basically why you need to have that, and then you will get much better grip also. And your wheels on normal parts where you're driving around won't get stuck in the ground. But, well, this is a bit special, as I said. So we will actually be taking this car out to drive on a real space. Okay, so there was some few issues with the copying, so I found out what's wrong. We just need to do this again, no collide the wheels to the base plate, and we'll see if we need to do that afterwards also. And we try to reconnect activate to the pod controller. Then basically advanced duplicator, area, copy. Then we should be ready to paste it. And maybe save it. It should be good also. Just want to see if it works. Or if we need to redo some of that. Nope. We need to reconnect the engine again using activate. Only the activate deconnects. So connect that up to activate on pod controller. And we are, as you can see, good to go. So we gear up to our first, or okay, like that. And well, that's our gears. Now we can see that we will need to tweak this vehicle, but you can see it works perfectly good. We have made a good working vehicle. We also have brakes that we can use and not kill the engine. Then we can also do these spins like that. When you start on gear 1, you can see that we really can make jump starts like this one, so that's fun. Okay, basically now we have a working vehicle with fuel and everything, so that's cool. And we can also see that our gearbox is far too, well, weak, if you so say. Now we can do and make this full -1, and this will assuredly get much more, well, fast. Gear 2. I think this is kind of a better setup. There are a few more things that we want to do on our little vehicle, and that is making the well, we want to have a display that showcases how fast we go. So let's just connect up that. We want a speedometer, and well, spawn this down on the circuit board maybe, or in the middle is more accurate actually. Then we also need a screen. I want to have my favorite sort of screen, like this. Floor screen value, absolutely. Kilometers per hour. Gear. And this can be a good way to learn. You can also have it showing both kilometers per hour and miles per hour. Like if you are using miles per hour, it might be interesting because the kilometers is kind of international standard and it's kind of practical, I think. So, well, in Sweden we use kilometers per hour, so I will do that. That is connect up A to kilometers per hour. B, we connect up to gear. That one. Select current gear. Now let's find a little welder. Weld that one to that plate. Now we can see that gear 4 is in. Gear 0, that is basically the same thing as clutch. Gear 1, backwards. Gear 2. And now of course we can tweak all the gears to perfection. Okay, 30 kilometers per hour. And we get up to 40, 50, about 60 maybe. fourth gear. Well, this little car seems to go about 80. But well, the control, or basically the control you have over the vehicle decreases as, well, depending on how fast you go. Oh, that's cool. Well, I think that we have a quite decent car. It doesn't look so cool yet, but we shall absolutely add a little cool looking chassis on it. However, one thing that we need to fix is, what was it now? Okay. Oh, and now I remembered. Okay, now you need to go do something really fancy, because we want to increase the grip of this car. Now select your physical properties, then you go into your console, and then you write in phys prop, like phys prop material, like this, phys prop material, jeeptire, phys prop material, jeeptire. I probably should place that in some good description. And then you just left click on all the wheels. Now you will have the best grip Garry's mod has to offer. So, select your gear 2, hold your brake / clutch and release it, and you will have a good start. So of course, we might want to add some cool stuff like chassis and stuff. So I basically think that I should well, grab on a nice chassis and show you how to connect it up. But we do have a quite road stable vehicle that also can do cool stuff. Now I can see one thing. I'm sorry for being geeky, but this is the Total Nerdy channel. I just want to fix a bit with the first gear. We just have it a bit like 008. So it's a bit weaker when you start there. I think that will be better for the torque, so on. So we can start good. But well, let's build a chassis. First what we're going to do is that it's a bit weird when you use parenting tool, because you want to use parenting tool for your chassis, because when you parent your chassis it won't collide with stuff and it won't cause unnecessary lag. Sometimes it can be cool to have a colliding chassis, but don't cause unnecessary lag. Then we will go to gates, and then we will just select a random large gate, nothing in particular, oops. Basically just place it down. This is what we're going to parent our chassis to. So let me align some stuff. Okay, now I have built a cab American car chassis thing. Oh, we need a grill thing, I think. How about a big radiator? That's what they're called, right? Radiators. Isn't that awesome? Now, okay, we got the parts. So basically, choose your parent tool. And when you're building a chassis, you don't have to think about the prop rate, because the parented things are... they don't cause much lag and don't cause any lag necessarily. Now check remove constraints, disable collisions and set weight. Yeah, that's fine. We will now select all the things. Some of these are quite heavy, but they will all now get a nice super light, like lightness thing. So we select them all. Whoops, we can area select, but then we need to unselect everything we don't want to parent. and that can be some trouble. Now I made a nice engine, so it's nice. Okay, now let's see here. Do we got all the parts? You really want to have a extra lap around to see if you really got all your parts that you want to parent. That one we want to parent to. Okay, I believe that's that. Now we right click this one and it's parented. We want to weld the seat to the base plate. Okay, that should be that. Oops. So that's cool. Nice. Now we of course need to make it look a bit nicer. So we take the, whoops, no. Base plate, elevate it in the air like that. Color, drag that down to invisible, make that invisible. This looks weird when you run around, so you can make those invisible as well. Now we want to have a nice material. A nice material? What about some checkerboard interior? Could be nice. And some, well, basically use your creative fantasy and, well, design it as you like. I believe that maybe we should be putting on some rust. I just go with, when I don't know what I want really, I just go with rust. It works every time. And if you use cool props, their like original texture can be quite nice as well. Whoops. Then I'm going to show you something that could be kind of useful to know. That's how to change some basic stuff. Like, for example, the wheels here. If we hold C, we can have skin, skin 1, skin 2. And, oh well, some of these have very many rims. These don't have too many, so that's easy. Now, color, however, we want green, like that. Then we only color those parts. That can be kind of cool. I think we go with red. Should these be? No. Okay, so that's fun. Now let's see here. One more thing. If we want to change the sound of the engine, then we open Sound Browser. And, well, we can listen to some engines, maybe. That sounds fun. Just listen around a bit. That sounds cool. Okay. Stop everything. Now set up sound emitter and close. Now it will change to the wire tool. So we will click on that one again, then click on the engine. Now we unfreeze it. We'll have a new sound. Oh yeah. I believe that we have successfully created a really nice ACF car. Well, I don't know how fast this tutorial went, but I hope it didn't take too long. Okay. Basically, freeze this up. Freeze those two as well as that. Take your... Now you need to like hold shift, right click again, and then you can copy it and paste it. we want, of course, to save it. We just check that it's working. And it is. Okay. Yeah, it's working. And this really looks like a American car, but a bit post-apocalyptic. So let's go in here, I right click, ACF Cars, let's save it. Let's save it. Oh, no. Now we did something weird. Okay, save. We save it as like Rusty Swedocano. This is the Swedocano. Version... no, not CV, version 1. Fantastic. Ladies, gentlemen and everybody else, we have successfully created an ACF car. I have created the Swedocano for you to, well, show you all the steps of making an ACF cars. And we have brakes, we have the best grip that Garry's mod can offer. We got a nice looking car, we got brakes, and it's a basic car, but it's working, and it has everything you need to build a good ACF car. And suspension. We have kind of a hard suspension, but we do have suspension, and it does make a difference. Whoops. Oh, that was a collision. Fast gearing. So well, what can I say? Thank you very much for watching. This is Gmodism Total Nerdery channel with a new ACF car tutorial. So it will hopefully be much easier for you to make a good ACF car. Anyways, I must say thank you very much for watching. Total Gmodism Gmod Nerdery channel out. I will be seeing you in the next video, I hope. And well, the map is in the cards, I believe. I should have put it there, otherwise remind me. So, thank you for watching. Gmodism officially out.